Good evening. Welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. Solid waste in Hong Kong just keeps mounting, jumping 80% in 30 years. The government expects our 3 landfills to be full by the late 2010s. So it's poised to charge people for dumping waste, for real. Producer Christy Leung asks, will the move really help reduce waste? What other measures are needed to make it work?
We'd like them to have the experience to use the designated bag issued by the EPD because they will know how much waste they create, think about how to do recycling.
At the end of each month, Kayan's team delivers the designated bags to participants' homes and shops.
Some of them refuse to participate in this scheme because they don't think it is an urgent thing.
These bags are free. In the real plan, everyone will be charged 11 cents per litre.
Absolutely, it's not a taxation because it's really based on a polluter's pays principle. The more you throw away, the more you have to be responsible for.
We will issue a mock charge statement to let them know how much they will be charged, so they can think about which volume of the bag is suitable for them.
It's estimated a family of 3 would buy $33 to $51 worth of designated bags a month.
This range is needed and should not be lower further. There's more disincentive will persuade people to reduce waste.
3 times a week, Kayan's team collects the garbage from participants to check how they're using the garbage bags.
For some shops who create large number of garbage, they think it is too expensive. For example, flower shop, 300 or something. This garbage is organic waste, but the government do not have a way to recycle this kind of waste. So they have to put it to the landfill instead of recycle. Designated bags from the EPD are made from a material which is 50% recycled material. I think this idea is very good, but commercial use is not quite suitable for the flower shop. If they have some waste, for example, plants, the designated bag from the EPD will just break. Some shops produce food waste, which is very wet, heavy, smelly and dirty, and they think the designated bag from the EPD is not tough and is not thick enough.
Residents here also get the designated green bags from the mock scheme.
The load of the green bags is not satisfactory. Liquid waste leaks affecting hygiene.
If they can't even get this done, that will only mean that they don't treat this issue very seriously.
In 2006 and again in 2014, the Environmental Protection Agency conducted similar polluters pay pilot projects in private and public housing estates. There is now a choice of T-shirt bags or flat-top bags in several sizes. The Environmental Protection Department says,
we will continue to collect feedback and comments on the designated garbage bags from the project participants and fine-tune the technical specifications as appropriate.
A waste charge was first proposed in 2005 by then Environment Minister Sarah Liao. It took more than a decade to table a bill in LegCo.
The municipal solid waste charge, I think, is complicated. It affects each and every family in Hong Kong, and as well as maybe potentially the commercial industrial sectors. The government is trying to find a balance. If the Secretary for the Environment has the determination, then it can go through.
Amoy Gardens in Kowloon Bay. It started a government-funded pilot scheme last month to prepare residents for polluters pay. Every resident can take up to 30 15-litre green bags for free.
I'm more conservative, so I take the 15-litre bags. On average, I use 3 bags in 2 days. Some rubbish is reused. That reduces a lot of waste.
呢個係綠色專用膠袋，就係10公升嘅。呢個咧就唔係啦。
45% of residents use the designated bags. For now, the others are still using the old white garbage bags.
In the pilot scheme, Amoy Garden cleaners gather all the residents' garbage from the back stairs, regardless of what bags they use, and bring them to the estate's refuse point for food and environmental hygiene workers to collect for the landfill.
If the cleaners sort out garbage not in designated bags, it would be too time-consuming.
After the polluters pay scheme is implemented, the government says FEHD cleaners would refuse to collect garbage not contained in designated bags. The Cleaners Union rejects the idea.
Refusing to collect is not workable because we have limited manpower. We stay fleetingly at each collection point. If you ask them to open and check all bags, they can't finish their day's work.
And she notes cleaners have no clout.
Most collection point heads are also cleaners. They've no right to prosecute. Even if they refuse to collect, the other side doesn't listen, they can only call the police.
The government plans to spot check refuse points for improperly bagged rubbish. If found, the entire residential estate could be fined.
Those complying with the rule have to pay for those who don't. It's unfair. We have to do more promotion and also education.
And take extra measures.
In future, we'll buy large designated waste bags such as 70 litres or 100 litres to contain escaped fish.
That's the improperly bagged garbage estate cleaners collect from the back stairs.
Better than a government fine.
The government plans to hire 100 officers to spot check.
Should have at least 700 to 1,000 people. They keep educating with the right message that follow the law, use the government paper, and to recycle. When the government finds some people who disobey the law and to publicize it through different media, people will understand now the government is not sleeping.
The government says,
we are still considering the manpower requirement for the implementation of MSW charging. We will continue to support the community involvement projects.
Vito moved to Sam Shui Po with his wife Angel a year ago. They dump their household waste at a nearby refuge point after work every night.
Tenements don't hire cleaners. You have to dump your garbage in the street.
More than 7,000 tenement buildings in Hong Kong have no management company, owners incorporated, nor residents group to hire cleaners. And making people buy designated bags won't change the status quo.
I'm sure there are groups that find even a normally affordable rate unaffordable because they are the lower income group. The phenomenon that people don't buy designated waste bag, instead just like illegally litter or use the public waste bin to dispose of their personal household waste will occur.
This district has mostly elderly, lower classes and new immigrants who may not be able to afford the cost.
Vito says roadside bins in the area often overflow with garbage.
This happens mostly at night and in the morning.
The bin might be full. It's so convenient to dump the waste beside it.
Piled several layers high.
We're most worried illegal dumping beside litter and recycling bins will worsen after the waste charge rolls out.
Waste less, pay less. But where can you find recycling bins?
Coming to Hong Kong, rubbish bins stand alone. Rarely see people sorting waste.
I don't think the number of recycling bin itself is a barrier to recycling. It is the misuse of the bins that matters.
More on that after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Pearl Report. The government wants to encourage recycling along with charging for dumping solid waste. But producer Christy Leung reports it doesn't make it easy for residents to recycle their waste. Angel was born and raised in Taiwan, where polluters pay was introduced 17 years ago.
Sorted into two types, bottles and cans and other trash. For food waste, my family sold snacks, so my mom sorted it out.
Taiwan's garbage recycling rate is 55%, Hong Kong 35%.
Recyclables and waste were divided at home before dumping. It's a habit with me since I was small.
But she abandoned the practice after moving to Hong Kong 2 years ago.
In Hong Kong, rubbish bins stand alone. I rarely see people sorting waste. Gradually got used to disposing waste unsorted, like everyone else.
Not many facilities for me to sort out the waste. Just throw it directly into bins. Environmental awareness is weak.
Sometimes from their residential flats, they have to take the trouble to walk a few blocks away to find the recycling bin to put in.
Municipal solid waste volumes grew more than 80% over 30 years, outpacing the 34% population growth.
To implement the reduction-first waste management strategy, the government plans to develop one green station in each of the 18 districts and provide funding for their operation.
Each station provides bins to collect recyclables, including paper, plastics, cans, and glass. Activities are held to enhance environmental awareness.
It's better to have children influencing their families. Many old folks don't know better. They have to get used to it gradually.
The government has allocated $400 million to build the 18 stations, but only 4 are running in Sha Tin, Shau Kei Wan, Kwun Tong and Tin Shui Wai. This one in Sham Shui Po is due to open this year.
It's more for education. The key elements that is lacking is some district-based sorting and storage facilities for recyclables. We need the government to step in and provide the space and the manpower, the expertise for that.
At present, Hong Kong has a total of 2,800 recycling bins.
Are there any recycling facilities right near them? If they're not near them, then this will somehow deter them. And they'll be like, okay, forget it, just put it in the rubbish bin.
And recyclables end up in a rubbish bin.
Some of the waste are clean and that can go to the recycle process.
Dr. Tan Chin Cheung of Open University and his team are doing a simple test in Dundas Street in Mong Kok to find out the quantity of recyclables dumped into garbage bins. After an hour, they take the bags of waste from 2 bins to the back alley for inspection. From the first bin, the waste collected weighed about 3.4 pounds. The second, nearly 10 pounds.
將啲可回收物全部攞晒出嚟先。There are a lot of shops selling drinks and snacks, so there are a lot of food packaging waste and eating utensils. 呢個都勉強 OK 啦。Most of the food packaging are plastic and also some paper.
The recyclables weigh 1.66 pounds. That's 12% of total waste collected.
There are quite huge number. We find a lot of clean drinking bottle, plastic bottle, which is highly potential for recycling. Because of the limitation of recycle bins in this street, they cannot easily reach a recycle bin. We take around 5 minutes to walk to the recycling bin. I believe normal citizens may find difficult or inconvenient to use the recycling bin.
In previous surveys from Dundas Street to Nathan Road and Nulla Street to Fa Yun Street, Dr. Tang's team counted 6 times more litter bins than recycling bins.
To encourage more recycling activity, the number of recycling bins should be increased, particularly in this district. It's a tourist, commercial, plus residential area that contain a lot of touch shop.
The government plans by 2019 to revise the ratio from 1 recycling bin to 14 rubbish bins to 1 to 6.
Most of the people in Hong Kong having a good incentive for environmental protection.
Dr. Tang belongs to a government steering group reviewing the design and distribution of recycling bins and litter bins.
We have to get people to know the location of recycling bin, or we can set up the recycling bin near every MTR exit, the bus stop, so people get the habit, do the recycling.
Maybe in some places, yes, an increase of recycling bin will actually facilitate more recycling. But in many other areas, it is the misuse of the bins that matters. Very often, when I look at the recycling bin, I find not just recyclables, basically rubbish. More education will be helpful to the situation, but we need people to willingly adopt, to voluntarily internalize those values. It simply takes time.
All these waste newspapers and aluminum cans I put in the recycling bins every 3 to 4 days.
Yik Kam Chun lives in Amoy Gardens. The private residential complex has been teaching residents about recycling since 2014.
Also, the plastic bottles are rinsed before disposing.
At first, the recyclables were still very dirty. Everything in the recycling bin couldn't be reused. Very often, when we discovered the problem, we issued notices with photos to remind residents. Now, very often, when we check the bins, they're odorless.
Sorting the waste is a hassle, but as you get used to it, it becomes a routine.
The estate also added more facilities in the lift lobbies.
Before, we only had the 3-color recycling bins. One block had a plastic bottles bin, another had paper, and yet another cans. Quite inconvenient. Now we've added bins in each block, and for more materials, including glass, electronic appliances, and old clothes. Residents can easily put recyclables on the 3rd floor podium. That boosted their motivation.
Amoy Gardens also has its own composter to treat 100 kilos of food waste every night.
A year, recycling food waste, the stairs are less stinky.
I brought leftovers, including bones and vegetables. It's convenient. Food waste can be used for planting.
Our composter turns food waste into fertilizer, so we try to grow plants with food waste. 1/3 of domestic waste is food waste. If they're not sorted, waste reduction would be less.
Hong Kong produces 4,000 tons of food waste every day.
This compost machine can only serve about 100 households. For the 5,000 households in the entire estate, we can't afford 50 more machines. In the long term, the government should collect domestic food waste. If our food waste has nowhere to go but the landfill, it's wasting our time.
We have 20 recycling stations. Meifu is the first one. It's been running for 7 years. We hope everybody can reduce waste at its source.
I brought some paper, I brought some tins, I brought some plastic, and I brought some glass. And it looks like they're actually doing more separations.
At first, we only collected waste plastics, paper, and clothes. Gradually, also glass, while we sorted plastics into number 1, number 5, and number 2, also polyfoam. I always tell them our values. There's only one Earth, there's only one Hong Kong. Actually, in the past 7 years, it's most touching to see them changing and to bring others to this station.
You have to build a habit and not in one day. It's quite hard, but we already take the greatest step. They will have more and more incentive to change their habits.
A piece of paper, a piece of plastic, they could have second life, third life if we are properly reuse them, recycle them.
Goal of life is not just to maximize your personal interest. You need to also address common interest. It's not just waste. It's about everything regarding our future and our environment.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Monday, Tuesday and Saturday, as well as online and on mobile apps. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck and good health.